What's up, everyone? I'm out here at Ralph Williamson Memorial Course in Seattle. I'm gonna play around today. I'm Toby, and this is Silver Fox Disc Golf coming right at you. Today I'm coming at you with the Discmania Genius. It's a 7.5 -4.1. Super understable, but a great starter disc. The reason I'm coming at you with that today is I played out here yesterday and I had a really great round using it on some shots I never used it before. So we're gonna break it out and see how it goes. Come on, let's play around. All right, here we are at hole 1, 291-foot par 3 over water. Hopefully you can see the basket right up in there. Get across. I've never skipped it through the water before. Gonna throw my West Side Crown. Okay, you saw that too, right? Saved a par. And this is hole number 2. It's a pretty short par 3, 216 feet. You can see some guys there right under the trees playing. Generally what I'm throwing here is my Discmania MD1. That seems to give me a pretty good shot. I usually kind of take a backhand approach. I've seen some people play forehand here, but boy, my forehand is just not there yet. So let's take a look, see what happens. Here it is, Discmania MD1 5600. And boy, I gotta tell you, this thing flies true. I really love this disc. Pretty nice kick off the tree there. Looks like I'm about 20 feet from the basket. Like I said, it looks like about a 12, 15 footer for birdie. Oh. All right, here we are, hole 3, 258 foot. Kind of dog leg around to the left. Perfect shot is aim for the right-hand trees, a little hyzer around the corner, get it to drop right at the basket. I've literally done that like once, so let's see how this turns out. Yeah, about a 50 plus footer. I don't know which circle that is. Again, with the crown, I love putting with this thing. It's got a nice little bead, which I really like throwing with. Love this as a putter. Yeah. All right, I think we can get that for par. Hole number 4, 312-foot par 3. Kind of goes into the woods there, takes a slight turn to the right. This is a pretty difficult hole for me, again, because I don't really have a forehand. I imagine that if I had one, I could probably throw something pretty good there. Since I don't have that, I've been throwing a backhand. I've been trying to let it kind of lay in there with a little fade. But yesterday I had a really good success again with this Genius. Now just a little bit dirty from skipping across the pond there. So I'm gonna try to throw this again, super understable, so maybe it'll just finish right kind of towards there at the end.
Oh, sorry. So sorry.
The holes are piled up kind of close. All right, that was pretty good. It dropped right in the opening there. Okay, this might be a little bit of a tricky shot. I think I've probably got like 55 feet and got some branches here. I got a pretty clean look at it though. It's a pretty good spot to land. So let's just see if we can get this one close. Close. Another par. Hole 5 is 297-foot par 3. Kind of long for me. Sort of down, hugs the right, and it's right behind the tree there. Yesterday, again, I threw this Genius for the first time, and I actually went 10 feet past the hole, which I don't think I've ever actually done. So I'm gonna throw it again today and see what happens. Okay, come back a little bit. Not that bad, actually. It had a little turn on the end, as you might have seen, but I should have a pretty good shot. Let's see. Looks like I've got another 50-footer. I got to get myself a little closer on these shots, but this is my second shot, so this is a good opportunity for me to get close. Let's see what happens. A little more roll there than I wanted. It's a 15-footer. Should be makeable. Hole number 6 is a 409-foot par 3. Straight across that gap there. That gap there, under that tree, actually. It's a pretty tough shot. Ideal shot here would be a forehand. Gonna get it out and over, get it to turn back a little bit, fade, I guess, for a forehand. And I threw that yesterday, threw the wild honey. And I don't throw this disc very often. So we're gonna try it again today and see what happens. I'll take that. All right, so the hole's kind of right underneath there under that tree. I'm using my Axiom Crave. I'm just gonna try to get it low, maybe even take a skip off the ground, get me kind of close there. Sorry. Well, I kept it low. Yeah, so these are the kind of shots that you get when you're 3.5 months in. You can see the basket right here, under the tree, 50 feet, low ceiling. This is a tough one for me. Gonna try to get close and save a bogey. Yeah, I hope close enough. Yeah, again, it's kind of meaty for me, 17, 20 feet. That's a tough one for a par, or not even a par. Tough one for a bogey. That was frustrating. This is a fun one, hole 7, 309-foot par 3. There's a gap through those trees. You can see a further tree. The basket's kind of on that side. I guess if I was really dialed in, I might take a forehand outside. That path is OB if you can see it. So I've just been taking my MD1 and kind of throwing it in the middle, letting it fade ever so slightly and taking what I can get there. Right where I wanted it. Again, like 50-ish feet, or maybe this is what my brain thinks every shot is. You can see the basket kind of right over here. It's a tough shot. It's got a little triangle behind it for OB, and so I want to tend to lay this one up. So let's try to get it close. I should be right where I want it. All right, hole 8, 348-foot par 3. Right up into the trees there. You probably can't quite see it in the dark. And this is a tough hole for me also. It's tough from a distance perspective, which is interesting for me. 348 feet. I don't know. I'm gonna throw this wild honey. I'm gonna try to get it out to the right and just let it kind of slide in and hopefully land in the middle area there. But I don't really have a shot that gets me close to the basket here. So never done better than par. We're just gonna throw it out there and see what happens. That's about as good a starting position as I could ask for. All right, I think that's about 100 feet. So I'm just gonna try to lay my crown up there really nicely, put something close to the bottom of the basket. There's some trouble right behind it, so it can be a little bit of a difficult shot. Not too bad. All right, this looks like about 70 feet. Got a low ceiling here, a couple branches laying low. Kind of on the fence on how to play this, so I think I'm just gonna give myself a nice easy throw, lay it up under the basket there. That's what my head's telling me at least. Let's see what happens. I don't think I can do my new straddle putt. I've just been working on that for the past couple rounds. Let's just give it a nice easy toss and get up underneath there. Too easy. It's about a 15-footer. It is never good when your disc rolls out of frame. That sucked. Now I've got about a 40-footer. I'm right here at the base of this tree. I don't even know if I'm saving bogey here. All right, and this is where we'd be at hole 10. I don't know if you can see the chain link fence, all the construction going on. This is a bummer. It takes out 10, 11, 12, and 13, all really fun holes to play. And so we'll hop over here to 14, and then I gotta look at the map and figure out where these other holes are we gotta play. Let's take a look. All right, usually hole 14, this now plays as hole 10. Hopefully you can see the basket kind of down the hill there between these two trees. Keep an eye on that left-hand tree. I'll tell you a story when we walked down there. Yesterday, I threw the MD1, hit the pole over here on the right. Couldn't try to hit it 100 times if I tried, but hey, it's okay. So we're gonna throw down here. It is a 250-foot hole downhill, so this should be the right amount of disc. Yesterday I threw this, hit that pole, and then I threw my maul, went about 10 feet past the hole. So let's see what happens. So the tree behind me that I pointed out from the tee box, it's probably a month ago. Throwing that same maul, beautiful shot, went right up in there and stuck. And I mean stuck, like if you were a bird making a nest, you couldn't have nestled it in there any better. And I left. I knew it was there, I could see it, couldn't get it down. Came back a weekend later with my son, and we stood under here for about 20 minutes throwing sticks up there. Finally, clearly, got it back down. Excited, but I've definitely worked to avoid that tree now. Oh boy. Sit. All right, the new hole 11, previously hole 15, 245 feet. Gets right through that hole there, and it now takes a pretty hard turn left. So a good little shot out there with some hyzer with this Axiom Crave. Should do me the trick. I've had a couple good shots over there. It's pretty tight through there, but we're gonna take a shot and just see how it goes as soon as gentleman ahead of me wraps up. Boy. All right, I really cut the corner there. Didn't really want to do that. Let's go see how it turned out. All right, so I have a shot. Look at the basket at least. All right, we'll take a par after that subpar throw. Okay, so this isn't a hole in the normal 20-hole layout, so I've never played this hole. It's a 312-foot par 3. The basket's just past that tree there, kind of where you can see the building. Never thrown this. Thankfully, there's nobody walking on the cart path here. Let's see what happens. That was the most generous kick. Thank you. All right, well, there I am. It's like 120 feet probably that I got back around the tree here. I'm hoping you can see it by the angle of the camera. Just gonna throw the MD1, hopefully kind of slight little bit of hyzer around the tree, maybe get close. Or I'll aim at the tree. Now hole 13, 359 feet up. Take a hard left turn around the building. It's a pretty tough par 3, so just gonna try to get the crave out there. Maybe get it to turn a little bit. Give me, probably a decent second shot in. Right in the trees. I've got about 170 feet, I think, and there was no way out, so I just kind of tossed it out. So I basically took a stroke. So now I'm laying 2. I'm gonna try to get the MD1 close and just see if I can scramble and say bogey. Threw it really high, which means, of course, it's gonna fade back quite a lot. All right, making this hole tough. Don't really want to be playing from here, but it's up under the tree there, almost behind it. Just gonna try to get it close. That feels pretty good. All right, usually hole 16, 345 feet, I think. Now it's hole 14, so we're catching up a little bit. Heads out that way, turns a little bit to the left, and normally I just throw this crave, let it come back a little bit. Got to be careful because it can skip down the hill and there's some shrubbery before you get to this road here that's OB. All right, second shot, not too bad a spot. Looks like I got about 100 feet. I'm gonna use this I'm gonna use this P1 putter, Discmania. I think probably one of the most standard putters in the game, 2300. I just wanna get something up there kind of straight and right around the bottom of the basket. That'll do. Hole 15 normally plays this hole 17, 320-foot par 3. Heads right in there. You see a big bushy tree there. Takes a sharp right-hand turn down the hill. I'm gonna give the Genius a try, see if I can't get a little turning finish on it and get it to go down the hill a little bit. Ideally though, I just end up far enough past that tree that I've got to look at the basket. Caught the tree. All right, pretty awkward second position here. I'm just gonna take the MD1, try to throw it straight, get it to that landing area there that gives me at least a look at the basket for my third shot. What's the opposite of finesse? All right, hoping we can see the basket there, just kind of down the hill. I'm just gonna try to get this P1 close. I'd like to land somewhere right down in that landing area and have something that's makeable for a bogey. Well, I flew the basket pretty well. I'm gonna have like a 20-foot comeback. That's gonna be a tough shot. So I want to say hats off to guys who film content while they're playing. I know some of you guys, Nate, Robbie, Anthony, you guys have been doing it for a while. I got a lot of nerves while I'm doing this, and so I'm thinking a lot about where to put the camera and how do I capture the shot. And now I'm filming, and you know, there's a lot that goes into this, and so shout out to the guys who are making great content, seriously. Hole 16 normally plays as 18 par 3, 309 foot, kind of through the gap there, and then it turns a little bit to the right. Again, I'm going to play the MD1. I usually can do a pretty good job of getting that through and maybe even get it and turn a little bit to give me a look at the basket. All right, so got my marker there, my 30 inches or meter, whatever it is from the path. Hoping you can see the basket kind of right here. Looks like about a 50-footer. Again, seems to be my number of the day, so I'm gonna try to get it close and save this, save a bogey. All right, this is a 444-foot par 3. That's a pretty long one for me. If you can see the little cabana there, it's just to the left on the left-hand side of the path. This path, fortunately, is not OB, but there's one up there that is. Again, I'm just gonna throw the crave and try to get it kind of down and out there to give me a decent second shot. This might be the first hole I delete the entire hole and just check in afterwards. This is hole 18 or 20, however you're counting. It's a 633-foot hole. It's way out there, follow the trail. It's a pretty long one. This is a super tough one for me. It's a par 4, the only par 4 on the course. I threw the Genius yesterday, got a nice bit of distance out of here, but it turned, it faded at the end. Turned to the left, kind of got behind a tree. So I ended up with a 5 here yesterday, which I felt like was a pretty good score. I'm just gonna try to get this out there kind of straight to give me a nice look for a second shot and see where it goes. That's about as middle as I can put it. All right, the basket is up and over the hill there, a little bit down. Again, I'm gonna throw the crave, hopefully a little bit of fade to it to get me kind of within maybe a 100-foot shot. We'll see. Thinking that it might actually turn out okay. It did actually turn out pretty good. I think I got about 125 feet to the hole. Again, gonna MD1 it right up there and something soft, hopefully right near the basket. It's a great run at it. There's a little ditch down there. It's in bounds, but I think I'm gonna be standing in it. So what stands out from my round today? You know, I want to look back and think about the rounds and try to come up with something every round I play that's a learning for me that I can experience some growth from on this journey. And I think the first thing is I need some help with my putting. I've got to start working on that. You know, I made that nice long putt on hole number 1 after my little skimmer across the pond. But other than that, I don't recall a lot of good putts that I made. In fact, I think I missed a lot in the 15 to 25 foot range, and I think that's where I'm going to save a lot of strokes on my rounds. The second thing that stood out for me is it's really hard to play a round of disc golf and carry around a tripod and a camera and get it all set up and keep your mind on playing the game. I really, really appreciate the guys that are doing it and doing it well. And I'm not there yet, but this was the first round I videotaped, so there'll be opportunity for me to get better at having it be an experience of capturing the information in the video and also paying attention to what I'm doing. So I want to end by saying thank you, Zach. I appreciate that you introduced me to this sport. I still love it. I love playing. I'm excited to go out there, hopefully for a few rounds in the coming days. A long weekend for the 4th of July. I hope everybody gets out to play some. Thank you. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. Thanks for playing around at disc golf with me. Hope you enjoyed checking out Ralph Williamson Memorial. We're going to play it again for sure, but I'll probably put less information about each hole on them and probably focus on what I'm shooting and where I should be aiming and things like that. I look forward to doing this some more. It's been really fun. Thank you.